Today we're at Harter Studios. We want to introduce Pam Harter, Keith Harter. We know Pam from
Laurel Heights Garden Club.
Yes, and
Yes.
took a tour of this, I don't know, 10 years ago of your studio.
Probably about that time.
And was so impressed that here we are now doing our Best of San Antonio, the people and places that make San Antonio extraordinary. So tell us your story.
Because you've talked about, I never really understood what you all did, and I don't think I was aware that it was your whole family. So, and Keith, you started the company in 1985, and so tell us, like, how did you do that? What were you doing?
In a pantry.
Did you?
Yes, a very small pantry too. I kind of converted it into a little mini studio. I had worked in some other studios before, and back in Virginia, where when I moved down here, the last thing I had done was I worked in a studio in a music store's my boss's house. He had asked me. He knew I was really into it, so he asked me to move into his house and house sit. But there was a studio in the basement, so it was good for me. It was just an 8-track studio, but that's really how I got my first real flavor of doing recording, and I really enjoyed that. And then I came down here, I moved to San Antonio to go to a music school that was here and worked there. And it was only a year program, and it was mainly a guitar conservatory. And at the end of the program, I was asked to stay and instruct there, to teach. I had a lot of experience because I played in bands for years and years, and I was the kid that always figured out everybody's parts. I learned how to listen to records and write down the different transcribing not just the guitar part, but the bass part and the keyboard part.
I had this old house down by San Antonio College and this walk-in pantry, and so he set up his first little booth in there. And
What's required to set up the booth?
Well, there was not much I could do.
Because there's all this stuff around.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of this then. I had a little cassette 4-track recorder then, and I actually did projects with that. And I had all my albums. We built shelves for them in there and put all those in there because I had hundreds and hundreds of record albums. And I even built a little, what would you call it, up above, so I could put all my instruments above.
oh yeah, like a rack space or something.
Yeah. And worked out of there. And then once we got married, we had a separate building, which was a 2-car garage. And I took that and converted that and did all the construction on that and started doing that and got a different recorder. And then ended up with the same 8-track. Somebody left me with that for a while to use. This is a different person, but they were playing in Alaska or something. They're going to be there for 2 years, and they wanted me to keep it. And they said, use it any way you'd like. So I did.
Oh my God! So you would set everything up and then record your music or record things for other people.
At that time, it was pretty much my music. Then we got into there was a lot of electronic things that happened that kind of rang the bell inside my head that, I can use these. I can play all these parts. I can play some keyboards, so I can reproduce all these other instruments and things. So I would get jobs at first doing industrial videos, doing music. I might have a 10 or 12 minute program that they needed music scored through the whole deal, so I would do that. And then people started calling me for a few commercials and that kind of thing.
Did your first jingle?
Oh yeah, right.
What was that?
It was a golden. I can't remember it was a gold and silver shop, and I remember us hearing it on the radio when we pulled into the house. I still have that memory of doing that when we heard it on the radio for the first time.
So you would be hired to create music to go with a commercial, whether that was on the radio or TV, and
right.
You started just doing that exclusively. Were you still pursuing?
I was still playing.
You were still playing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so right now, you've come a long way from the pantry.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
A
we
long
just
way.
toured the building.
Right, we'll walk around, but so tell us about the room we're in now. Like, how did you pick this building? It's incredible because you have so much going on in this little nondescript spot in the middle of San Antonio.
And you've been here a long time.
22?
24 years.
Oh,
Wasn't it
yeah.
2001 when we moved in?
Yeah, boy.
Well, there was an empty lot here, and she was taking the boys to gymnastics over here at Olympia Gymnastics.
Oh yeah.
And there was
racing from work to
Yeah.
pickup time, and I saw a sign, the lot was going to be auctioned off, and screeched on my brakes and wrote down the phone number and went and picked up the kids and didn't think much about it, and called about the auction and still didn't think much about it, and decided on my lunch break I would go and just
So
see.
What?
Oh my gosh.
And I went on my lunch. This is when I was working full time for USAA, and went over there and was in a hotel ballroom, and this, I'd never been to an auction in my life, and I was sitting there, and this old man came and sat down by me, and he was the auctioneer, but he said, "This is a small one. I'm going to let the young guy take it." And so it started, and I think this property was maybe the second one, and they were talking so fast, I had no clue what he was saying. And he goes, "Raise your hand." So I raised my hand. He goes, "All right, go again." I raised my hand. There were somebody behind me betting. And the next thing I know, he rattled this off. He goes, "You got it."
You're like, what?
What?
I didn't even know how
That
much
is the crazy
I
Well, we had been talking about it.
Yeah, it
And-
wasn't just out of the blue, but we didn't pinpoint this area. So
That is a crazy story.
Did you just call Keith and be
it's
like,
crazy stories.
Oh my
I
God.
Well-
bought a lot?
Well, I knew she was going. At that point, I was super busy. I'd gone to work for another studio, and then after I worked there for several years as full-time composer, I started on my own and went into another space that I rented off of Pam and worked there for a couple of years, and then we were kind of outgrowing it. So I needed a little more space and area to take care of all the clients and things like that. So we decided, well, we want to build something. So, that came at the right time. And it's funny, the sign was only up for what, a day?
somebody had taken it down the next day.
Like maybe
Oh,
someone that
after-
didn't want the competition.
Exactly. And whoever was bidding behind me had removed
Wow.
the sign. So it was just meant to be.
Thank goodness your kids were in out of
Yeah.
Olympia.
Yeah, right. We never would have
That would
found
have
it.
worked. It worked out.
Yeah.
And then how did you design it? I mean, there's studio rooms, there's break
It's-
rooms, there's everything.
I started drawing,
You just-
started drawing
Okay.
ideas because at the time we were working with so many different agencies and they were here at the same time, and we needed separation so we could have one group in here and one group down the hall, and they wouldn't bump into each other unless it was just the
Kind
bathroom
of
or
like if
something.
you're doing the Democrats on one side
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
Republicans
yeah.
on the other. You don't want to,
You don't want to
Keep
come
it-
run
keep
into
everybody
it.
happy.
Yeah.
And we had went through some ideas. I originally thought I wanted an atrium in the middle and realized it was going to eat up too much space. And anyway, we kind of came up with an idea, and then we started working with a guy who specializes in sound design, and he kind of tweaked it for sound elements. And as you see, like the walls aren't
Mhm.
parallel, things like that. All these rooms are like crooked, and
Yes.
the floors are floating, so you're not hitting
Interesting.
direct concrete. And so he tweaked it, and then we got an architect, and took about 2 years, I guess, to kind of narrow it down.
Huh.
And we
So,
started building.
The walls, I hadn't noticed it, but yeah, the walls are.
They're all like 7 layers deep.
Are they panels? Or
Well, what you're seeing are panels,
Mhm.
but they're on walls that are 7
angled.
layers of soundboard,
Sheetrock
sheetrock, plywood, whatever,
and more soundboard than
right.
wow.
And then the floors are up on these little rubber kind of things that hold it off the concrete. So, like if you bounced a golf ball in here, you wouldn't hear it in another room. It doesn't
Huh.
carry. So it's very specialized.
So what you all go across all industries and recording? You probably can't say who the most famous person is that you've worked with, or can you? or like a real memorable.
Well, let's see. We had Justin Bieber in here once.
What?
Oh my
gosh!
Did
I
you?
wish I'd known. I would have brought Lucy
Problem
by.
is, neither of us knew who he was.
No.
And when I walked in the room, he was sitting on the couch in that other room, and I thought, oh my God, every kid wants to look like Justin Bieber.
You're kidding.
And my cousins happened to be here from out of town, and I was showing them the studio, and he said, you know that's Justin Bieber. I said, oh, it's not. And he goes, yes, it is.
So they called me out to the room, and they said, "Do you know who that is?" And then it really hit me who it was. I didn't realize up until that point. He had like about 16 or 17 people with him too.
Like his entourage.
I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
say,
He was
what did
here at
that?
the AT&T Center, and he just wanted a studio to just kind of play around in. He wasn't doing
That's-
any of his big hits or anything.
Oh, he just wanted a
He was working on a
little-
song.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh, how
nothing
interesting.
He
new.
and Sean Kingston. I think
Yeah,
it was.
Uh-huh.
right.
Wow.
And so
That's amazing.
it was
It
funny at the time that we were just kind of like, what?
He even said, "Hi, I'm Justin" when he came in the door, but it just didn't ring a bell
Yeah,
to me
you're
that
like,
that's what
hey,
it
nice
was.
to meet you.
Yeah.
He thinks everybody knows who that is.
But he
That's when he
was
still had the bangs. and
polite
Yeah, that-
manners, huh?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And you know, he had at that time he had a curfew. He had to be out of here by 11 or something. And then Sean Kingston kept on working on the song, and they were here till about 3 or 4.
Okay.
And which is, we usually don't work that late. I mean, we haven't here that
Right.
often.
So how
Very
does that
rare.
work? Does one of, okay, I know you work with your sons.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
here. We saw them. And
Yeah.
one
They
of the
grew
other-
up here. I mean,
Yeah.
when they
No.
were little boys, they had they were into BMX, and they had a BMX jump out in the front parking lot.
Oh,
And
that's-
they would come here after school and
This was
you know,
where, yeah.
jump their bikes and do this, and
Yeah.
then they just gradually gravitated toward music. I know you can relate.
Yes, I
and
can.
little by little became part of the working organization.
So when Justin stays here till 3 a.m., does one of you have to be here
Oh,
with
yeah.
him?
Actually, the boys were playing that night, and they took over from me at midnight. They
Mhm.
came over, and
Okay.
that's when John had a van, and he took some of them home, and
Right.
then he came back, and
Right.
because, like I say, Justin had to be. He had a curfew. He had to be in.
Oh my gosh. So,
Back in the hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
yeah.
So he drove him home in his van back to the
Yeah.
hotel.
The rest of the band.
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
it's been some,
Couple,
yeah.
a couple in his entourage, and then
Yeah.
there were still some up here,
I
obviously.
love that.
Yeah.
After that,
Uh-huh.
What other good are just local things that are stories that people might enjoy hearing? Because it's very unique. Like if you were coming in here, would we meet in here, or this is where you're manipulating what you're recording?
this room is a little simpler. We will record voiceover for commercials. We also do a thing called ADR, where we replace dialogue in movies. That's where they may be on set where they're doing a movie, and it doesn't come through well because there's a noise or something gets in the way.
Right.
So they'll come back in here and do that. And then if we're working on a movie, sometimes we have to do a lot of it. But we've done everything from Lincoln to, I'm trying to think of. We actually had Steven Spielberg calling here one day when we were working on the Lincoln movie.
What?
Well, all
He
this
wasn't
stuff-
here, but he
But
said
he
somebody.
called in
He was on
to
the
check it
phone,
out.
Yeah.
because he was like
Listening in on it.
on the session. They do that a lot now, where they're just on the phone listening to what's
Really?
going- Yeah.
That makes sense. Huh?
So, are you all using artificial intelligence at all with the business?
A slight bit. It helps. Now you can clean up some audio that you could never clean up before. You could
Mhm.
separate things that you were never able to do before. So it does come in handy
little
for
bit.
that. Yeah.
And the movies that you're working on, how are you getting the people's voices? Do they have to be here? And
They come in. It would be
Oh.
talent that come in and do that. As far as that goes.
Yeah.
And so they just come in, they make themselves at home. They have a mic, and they just start reading. I know you said you do books on tape, and
Mhm.
I've seen on your website all the commercials you've done,
A
and
lot of.
a
Yeah.
ton.
And there's a lot more since that needs to be updated. But yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, it's usually an actor or someone who lives in the area, and instead of them getting on a plane and flying to LA or wherever to record, 3 sentences, they
Mhm.
come here and we get on the phone with people in California and or wherever they are,
Right.
and record it. And so they're getting direction. We have the visuals here so they can see what's going on,
I mean, it's just
kind of
amazing.
interesting, yeah.
Every day's different.
Yeah,
The
it
visuals
is.
from the movie?
Mhm.
Is that what you mean? Oh, that's-
Yeah, we get all the visuals, and
Uh-huh.
we're looking at that, and they give us spots that we're supposed to fix and somebody will be listening in on the other end. They may be in California or New York or
Okay.
wherever they might be. And we used to do, we had a thing that we used to do that was a more exclusive ISDN connections. Pretty much that's changed now, but the furthest away that we recorded anybody would be Australia or Thailand.
Oh my god.
What?
Like over.
They'd
there-
come into a booth there, and we needed something that they
Uh-huh.
were doing, and we could record it just like they were in the room.
That's crazy.
I mean,
There are newer things now,
Right.
and that make it easier, and you can do several people at once and things like that. But
You guys aren't hiring the talent, it's an agency, and the agency's bringing the work to you, is that right?
for the
No.
most part, sometimes we'll do a casting where they're looking for a voice or something like that,
Okay.
and we'll get the people to read it or give them samples that they've done as their demos,
okay,
and give them to the agency or whoever's picking.
Got it.
okay.
And then, we do a lot of that, and sometimes they have somebody already too.
That's one of Josh's primary responsibilities, is he
Okay.
does all the casting and the bidding and organizing who's in what room, et cetera.
And so you have Josh and John.
And
And-
John does engineering.
Okay.
He basically records the projects, mixes the projects, kind of helps produce.
And everybody's a musician. I bet you.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
just
we
a
play-
music lover.
Yeah,
We play on lots of recording. A lot of times people lean on me to do the arrangements to the songs, and
Okay.
I'll do that. And then the boys, Josh plays bass or guitar, and John will play drums and percussion, and I'll play guitar or mandolin or steel guitar
Oh my
or
gosh.
dobro or
keyboards.
banjo, on different things.
Have your voices been on any of the stuff?
Mhm.
Has yours, Pam?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually I
you
have.
have, okay.
I actually have. It's a proud moment. Was it a dumpster recycling?
Oh, it was, yeah.
Oh,
Commercial.
I think it was that one. I think I saw some kind of.
Or something was on fire. I had to yell something.
I had to yell
Fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I've
did
been
I
on
say?
different. I've
I
done
can't
some
remember,
voiceover
but it
too.
was one of
I don't
those
like to do it, but I do it sometimes.
bends. Well, it's funny because a lot of times he'll do the scratch track, as an example, and then they'll choose him when he wasn't really. He has a great voice.
You-
He has a
you
really-
do- you do
He has
have-
a
yeah.
really
Really
great
good voice.
voice.
I
He
hate
has
to
a
hear it,
great
but-
singing
Yeah.
voice. I mean, it's just, he doesn't think so, but other people do, and I do. So
So growing up with the boys, there was just always music in the house. Either music at work or music in the house.
or sports.
Or
I mean,
okay.
we were very involved in sports all the way through high school, and somewhere along the way, they started doing both, and I think they realized that you get a lot of girlfriends when you play music.
Hey, that's a
Chick
good reason.
magnet.
So they have
It worked for you.
literally
Yeah.
been in a band since middle school.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And all the way through high school, they're still in a band. They have a band called the Harter Brothers.
Yes.
And so, yeah, they're always really good writers. They write their own material and perform. And
Did they play in the band at school or?
They did.
orchestra? They did.
Jonathan, Josh did 1 year.
Mhm.
He was much more in sports.
Mhm.
And John played marching band the whole
time?
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole 4 years. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what else should we know about Harter Studios?
Let me think about that for a second.
Well, I don't know. I think we're probably unique to San Antonio.
It is.
I like that it's
Family
family
owned
run and
yeah,
operated.
operated, yeah.
It is
A
great
true mom and pop
because
shop.
yes, it is good when we're doing music together. We kind of are on the same wavelength a lot of times, so we think the same way, and we play together so much that when we play things, we're very in sync with one another a lot of times. So it makes it really.
That must
easy.
be like really special.
And
And-
have your boys working with you. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
You get to
They
be a
could-
And
family.
still playing live together because he plays in their band and they play in his band and
So are you busy every weekend going to shows?
Not every weekend, but a lot of weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then Josh does a solo thing too, so
Oh my gosh.
acoustic solo. So yeah.
And are y'all, so isn't there San Marcos, it's supposed to have like Hollywood in Texas is gonna be built there for a recording studio?
I've read that. I haven't heard
Yeah,
any
yeah, I don't
updates
know
on
much
it.
about it right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I've heard that too.
'Cause that seems like that might be a good thing,
It
right?
could be. It could be.
You know,
Mostly it's Austin, I think. Austin has, a lot going
a lot,
on.
right?
Do they come here from, like,
Some,
Some?
we have some clients from Austin.
Okay.
I've had, I'll mention this guy, his name, he came all the way from out in West Texas, way out in West Texas. Randy Quaid came in here
oh,
once.
no
He was
way.
doing the Capital One commercials at one point, where he does,
Yeah.
what's in your wallet?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And he came here several times to record his part.
Oh, wow. Huh.
That's been a long time ago, but
Oh,
that's about as far as people come
Yeah.
to drive here. There's-
Yeah.
So it sounds like lots of voice recordings. How many bands come in?
Lots.
Lots.
Rick Cavender
Oh,
has
yeah, of
recorded
course.
here numerous times. What is
Well, we've had-
Ernest
we've
Band,
had,
the number 3 dinners.
Yeah,
and,
we've had George
Moe
Strait in here
Baird.
too.
Oh, yeah, Mo Baird, yeah,
Yeah.
the famous or infamous, yeah.
Matter of fact, last night, I had a harmonica player play on his record. And last night we went to see Peter Frampton, and the harmonica player was playing in his band.
Oh, I love
Oh
Peter
my
Frampton. So does my
gosh.
husband also is a huge music lover, and that's
He was playing guitar,
Yeah.
but
but he's the one that
I-
played on.
that
on
is
Luke's
crazy.
recording, yeah.
Huh.
Your
Yeah.
dad's famous.
Well, no, I mean, he's kind of 6 degrees of separation, but yeah, that
Keith tries
harmonica
to
player.
get musicians that are really well versed in studio and playing live to play on album projects.
Okay,
And he's done that for Rick several
Mhm.
times, and we've had people play on the Harter Brothers album, the fiddle player for George Strait, and who else?
Do you do that
Play
just
on-
because
Well,
of the talent, like, and exposure?
when it's
and
something that we
different
don't
projects?
play, we try to get somebody,
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
person we can find
Okay,
for
yeah.
it, that we can afford.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had Luis Conte, who plays on all the James Taylor records. He plays on some of the Santana records.
Oh my gosh.
Do some percussion,
Uh-huh.
special things.
And so I know there's an artist mind and a business mind. How do you merge them here?
Well, I'm more of the artist.
Yeah.
So, guess where?
Yeah.
Guess who does the dirty work?
Yeah.
I come from business. I mean, even though I was in the corporate communications with USAA, I do come from a business background. So when I retired my job there, I sort of took over managing the business part of this.
And
So,
how's it working with family and fun?
well, I do all the not fun stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they do all the fun stuff.
Well, there,
Oh.
you
I
got
pay the bill.
Everyone's got their role.
and make sure air conditioners get fixed, and that supplies are bought, and if we have a skunk infestation or something
Yeah.
like that, I'm out there
Oh my
putting pellets
gosh.
out so that they can produce
They
music.
can produce music.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their role.
Yeah.
Well, thank
How long did you work both? USA and here?
Not really.
Not
at
really,
all.
oh, okay.
Before I retired, he had an office manager, and they pretty much, I was very uninvolved.
Uninvolved, okay.
And so I couldn't with the job I had there. And
Too much.
Yeah,
Too demanding. Yeah. I was
So
just curious.
he was doing some of it too, and I
Mhm.
kind of took it off of his plate. So.
Just focus on the art.
But
Mhm.
I've been retired since '06, so it's
Okay.
been 20 years.
Yeah. That seems impossible. You were retired. Seriously.
I know. Every time I say it.
Well, she just went on to more work. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So,
Your second career.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The benefits.
Well,
are
you're
just
lucky.
better.
This seems like an amazing,
Okay.
second
Can we
career.
walk around
You
and
bet.
then
Sure.
you
You bet.
show us some of the different spaces?
Yeah,
and,
Sure.
Absolutely.
Because it really is interesting, and
Thank
it's
you.
like I said, so nondescript in a
That
kind
was
of in a business part?
intentional.
Okay.
Like I said, we wanted something that was close to home. We live
Yeah.
in Northwood, and we have to be careful because of sound. Even though we have a lot here that keeps it out, it's not, if you were right under the flight path, it would be very difficult. And we don't cater to drive by traffic. So we really want the place to just look.
There's not
as
even a
plain
sign.
as
I didn't.
possible.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't.
Right.
No
Yeah.
sign or nothing.
You don't want someone
Right.
coming in looking for Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Right.
We just, we're here and doing what we do, but we stay very quiet.
Okay.
Low key.
Huh. And then people hear it's word of mouth.
Pretty
For the
much.
most part,
Referral.
yes.
Okay.
We're a member of, the Ad Federation and stuff like that. So we mingle with people that are in the same business, et cetera, but also word of mouth.
And then we've
And
done
sometimes
so
web
many.
searches because we have some things that we offer here that not everybody in town has. So an out-of-town person might just Google, where can I get this done, and we'll get
And then it can
cold
pop up.
calls,
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
We're like we do some regular Netflix shows where the talent is in the area. Doozy's Doghouse. I've never seen it other than here. But also like Sesame Street, we have one of the animals, the characters
You're kidding.
that it comes in here, and we work on that.
Oh my gosh.
And there's an equivalent of it over in England, I guess. I can't remember the name of that, but the same character does some voice for that. He was just here a week ago, I guess.
Do they do like batch recordings for a whole bunch of episodes and then?
They do. We've been doing for Doogie's Doghouse. We've been doing. We've done a couple. They've got several years more of the production to do. The little girl who is part of that, they're trying to get it all done before she grows out of.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Her voice changes and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah. Well, show us around. Let's
Yeah.
see.